Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the budget method that changed my life. So recently a commenter asked me, of all these different methods and strategies that you have learned and used, which of them are truly the ones that you swear by? And so I thought of that, I pondered that, and I came up with a list of the steps that we implement on either an annual basis, a quarterly basis, a monthly basis, a weekly basis, or even a daily basis. So that is what we are going to be talking about in today's video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. By the way, I do have to say that we started really budgeting about 5.5 or so years ago, which was shortly after we had gotten married, and it was time for us to combine our finances because that is the life that we chose, and time for us to really start making sure that we were being good stewards of our money and doing right by our money and not just blowing our money on frivolous things, especially as a newly married couple. So I do have to say, while we have been budgeting for a while, it wasn't until probably about 2 years ago, probably around Q3 of 2020, when we put in these new systems and really began to streamline our process for managing our finances. So the very first thing that we do is annual financial planning. Around this time each year, we meet together and we talk about our projected annual budget, what our projected income is going to be, what our projected bills are going to be, expenses to include saving, paying off debt. We just kind of talk about our goals for, looking at it from a holistic annual approach, just to see what our goals are, what we are aiming to do, what we can actually, be able to do in any given year, given our current income and our current expenses and bills. Of course, we always take into consideration what we are earning right now and what our bills and expenses are right now, assuming that they will pretty much be around the same in the new year. Following the meeting that we have together, we then go ahead and we schedule a meeting in Q3 with our financial advisor. So we do employ a financial advisor each year, and we kind of come up with what we think is going to be feasible as far as investing and saving, because that's pretty much why we have a financial advisor. And then we take to him what we have come up with. We look at what we did in the given year, and then we also look at what we're going to strive for or aim for in the upcoming year. So the next thing that we do is really something that technically takes place on a monthly basis, is that we automate our investments. So after having our own budget meeting and after meeting with our financial advisor, we typically go into the new year with our investments being auto deducted. So our investments actually come out on the first of the month, and we strategically did that because it is like, kind of paying ourselves first and pretty much just taking care of our responsibilities, our financial responsibilities, before we get to swiping, because that is something that we do all throughout the month. So we just go ahead and automate our investments so that they happen automatically. Same for our investments at work. Those obviously deduct from our paychecks automatically as well. So not having to worry about trying to move money around or do any of that is very helpful and is a very streamlined process for us. Similarly to automating our investments, we also automate our savings. So each month we already know how much money we can save, so we go ahead and we initiate that savings process just to make sure that that is taking place automatically and we don't have to manually do that. We also automate all of our bills. So all of our bills are on auto pay. I honestly can't think of a world where I actually manually pay bills. I know some older people, they literally go to the electric company and pay their bills and stuff like that. It's a no for me. It has to be automated. We have too many bills. We probably have like a good 15 to 20 bills, probably like 15. And they need to happen automatically, so we don't have to worry about investing and sitting down to make those transfers. We don't have to worry about savings, and we don't have to worry about actually sitting down to pay our bills. The next thing that we do is we pre-plan the entire quarter in every dollar. Now, technically we could use our annual spreadsheet to do this, and essentially that's what we do, but I don't actually budget using the spreadsheet on a month-to-month basis. I use the Every Dollar app. The only reason why the spreadsheet even exists is because I can't look at an annual picture of what our projected income and expenses are going to be using Every Dollar. So that's kind of where every dollar comes into place. But in any given month, like right now it's October, I already have our budget for not only October, since it's technically the beginning of October, but I have it for November and December as well. That is just for further accountability. Just like pre-planning the quarter in every dollar, we also pre-plan the month. And the whole purpose of this is that, let's say, you know, our electricity bill is going to come in a couple weeks and it's going to be for the month of November. Well, we're still in October as I am filming this video. So when that bill comes in, I can go ahead and I can go to November in every dollar and I can plug in that actual amount for the electricity, because at this rate, all I have done is really just put in a guesstimate. And so once I get that actual amount, I can go in and plug and play. And so the purpose of this is that whenever the new month rolls around, whenever November rolls around, we don't have to really sit down and have like a strict budget meeting or take a real look at our finances, because we've already plugged in the amounts and the figures beforehand. So on November the 1st, we're going to be ready to rock and roll with our budget. And again, it's more like a streamlined, automated process. The next thing that we do is we create a monthly roadmap. Basically, we just do goal setting. It's one thing to put together a budget, and budgets really don't work unless we do. And so going ahead and goal setting for the month based on our annual goals, of course, and really being really intentional about what we want our money to do for us in the month is really helpful, and it really helps to guide us in carrying out the month and always being able to reflect on our goals to see what we actually wanted the month to look like. You guys see me do a budget video or multiples every month here on my channel, and it's a very rare occasion that we don't meet our financial goals. We pretty much always meet our financial goals. Honestly, I say all the time that managing our money is like, that's probably the only thing really that we have going for us as far as something like where we thrive, I guess. There are other areas where we don't do so hot, but for whatever reason, managing our money is so streamlined and so just automatic that it's much easier for us to do it than some other things in life. Another thing that we do is we check our bank accounts daily just to make sure everything is kosher, everything was how we left it, or the bills that were supposed to be deducted actually did deduct, and the income that was supposed to be deposited actually did deposit. At that same time, I go ahead and I track our income and our expenses in every dollar, and I do this on a daily basis after checking our bank account. So the point that I want to drive home is that this is more like a routine. This is an everyday routine. It is a very rare occasion that we go a couple of days without checking our bank accounts or checking our income and our expenses and tracking those, because we need to stay on top of it, and it's just a routine. So it might seem a little obsessive, but really it's just a routine. I wake up, I kind of check my phone eventually, and in doing that I check our bank accounts just to make sure everything is good, and if there are any new transactions, I go ahead and I track them manually in every dollar. Now, the step that we took probably about a year ago that really changed our finances and really streamlined this process is consolidating all of our variable expenses into one category, which we call the shopping category. We used to have line items for food, or like groceries and restaurants and pet and gas for our cars and all these different things. And one day I thought, well, it doesn't really matter how much money we are spending from each specific category. All that really matters is that that total amount that we're allotting for all of those different categories isn't exceeded. Now, sometimes we do go over budget, we all know that, but for the most part, we try to stick to that exact amount. I will tell you, inflation is messing up some stuff right now, but otherwise, we definitely are able to keep that amount lower than what it is right now. So those are all of the things that we do each and every year, technically, to manage our finances and to make sure that we have a streamlined process where we're not really having to do a whole lot to manage our money. Literally, all we have to do is go to work and come home. Like, as long as we go to work and we come home and we go to work again the next day and we keep doing that over and over until we get a paycheck, everything else is just a seamless process. In my next video, I think it would be fun to talk about things that we've ditched over the years and just things that don't work that maybe work for other people that do not work for us. So I think that that could be a fun video to film. So if you like this video, make sure that you give it a like, subscribe if you're new and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.